The greatest battle you will ever face is not against a competitor, a deadline, or a financial crisis, but against the slow, creeping stagnation of your own mind, the insidious creative block that shackles your potential and dooms you to a life of mediocrity. We are all born with the raw potential for genius, a divine spark that yearns for expression. Yet for many, this spark is extinguished daily by an unwitting act of self-sabotage, a squandering of the most fundamental life force available, Jing. This raw essence, deeply rooted in the ancient Taoist traditions, is the bedrock of your vitality, your creativity, and your very genetic potential. And the act of semen retention is the master key to transmuting this dense physical energy into Shen, or pure, transcendent spirit and intellect. The wisdom of the sages understood that what is lost through ejaculation is not just a fluid, but a precious composite containing concentrated nutrients like zinc and selenium, crucial cofactors for countless enzymatic reactions in the body, including the synthesis of key neurotransmitters that govern mood and cognitive function. As you begin to understand and embrace this transformative journey, you will find immense value in connecting with others who are walking the same path, sharing insights, and overcoming challenges together. For this reason, I urge you to join our private Telegram channel right now, whose link is conveniently placed in the description below this video. The modern mind is captivated by instant gratification, yet the price of this immediate, fleeting pleasure is a dramatic, predictable neurochemical crash that actively destroys creative momentum and dulls the keen edge of genius. Let us look precisely at the scientific mechanism. The orgasm itself is mediated by an explosive surge of dopamine in the reward pathways of the brain, creating an intense momentary peak of pleasure. However, this is immediately followed by a proportional flood of prolactin, often referred to as the shutdown hormone, which is the biological mechanism responsible for the post-ejaculatory refractory period. This hyperprolactinemia, a state of abnormally high prolactin, actively inhibits the production of new dopamine and norepinephrine, causing the common feelings of fatigue, mental fog, and pervasive lack of motivation, the very conditions that solidify a creative block. From a strict biological perspective, this rapid shift serves to immediately curb further reproductive interest after a successful mating event. But for the modern man pursuing intellectual and creative mastery, it is a catastrophic drain on focus. When you practice semen retention, you are not simply saving fluid. You are intentionally disrupting this detrimental neurochemical feedback loop, starving the prolactin surge and conserving the potent hormonal energy. The most compelling, though often debated, physiological effect is the observed spike in the primary male sex hormone, testosterone. Scientific investigation, such as one small-scale study, has documented that an abstinence period of approximately 7 days can cause testosterone levels to surge by up to 145.7% of baseline levels. While this initial peak may not always be sustained indefinitely without continued energetic practices, this immediate significant elevation provides a powerful, tangible boost to the psychological and physical state. Testosterone is the hormone of action, confidence, and competitive drive. It directly enhances the willingness to embrace risk and aggression necessary for both entrepreneurial and artistic breakthroughs. This hormonal buoyancy provides the energetic lift that makes sustained, demanding creative work feel not like a burdensome task, but like an enjoyable, driven pursuit. Furthermore, the sustained mental effort required to willfully retain this powerful energy acts as an unparalleled workout for the prefrontal cortex PFC. The PFC is the most evolutionarily advanced part of the human brain, responsible for executive functions such as abstract thought, planning, decision-making, and crucially, impulse control. By repeatedly choosing to transmute sexual energy rather than release it, you are strengthening the neural circuitry that governs your highest-order thinking. This continuous reinforcement improves your ability to focus deeply for extended periods, filter out distractions, maintain the intellectual stamina required to solve complex problems, and produce truly original work, essentially upgrading your mental operating system from DJing to Shen. The commitment to semen retention, therefore, acts as a neurological recalibration, effectively weaning the brain off the high-low cycle of excessive dopaminergic reward and the resulting post-ejaculatory apathy. This conserved internal energy, the wellspring of Jing, must be actively redirected or it can manifest as restless tension, which is why the ancient Taoist practice of Wanjing Bunao was invariably coupled with Qigong, meditation, and sexual yoga, methods designed specifically for sublimation. Sublimation, in psychological terms, is the mature defense mechanism where socially unacceptable or primitive impulses, like raw sexual energy, are consciously transformed into constructive, acceptable, and often highly creative outlets. The underlying science here involves utilizing the conserved sexual energy, which is a powerful primal drive, as a fuel source for the ascending neural pathways that govern focus and complex thought. Think of the powerful libido, which is the conserved Jing, as high-octane fuel. Instead of burning it off instantaneously for a brief, fleeting experience, you are channeling it through the engine of your creative work. This mechanism explains the often reported increases in verbal fluidity, confidence in social interactions, and aggressive pursuit of ambitious goals. All hallmarks of a highly motivated individual operating with a regulated high-energy neurochemical profile. The essence of the creative block is not an external problem, but an internal neurochemical block, a condition directly exacerbated by a drained system. By choosing retention, the body is forced to conserve and internalize vital biogenic amines and hormones. For instance, ejaculation, the loss of semen, can deplete a significant amount of zinc, an element crucial for over 300 enzymes, numerous transcription factors, and the healthy function of the neurotransmitter pathways. Zinc is essential for the structure and function of the hippocampus, the brain region critical for memory formation and, by extension, creative synthesis. When this resource is conserved, as it is in retention, the systemic availability of these critical building blocks is theoretically enhanced, providing richer raw material for higher brain functions, allowing the parietal lobe to effectively manage spatial awareness, and the frontal lobe to sustain logical and innovative thought. The Taoists referred to this conserved vitality as Jing, a powerful, dense form of energy closely associated with the kidney system in traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, which governs essence, bone, marrow, and indeed the brain. The entire goal of Wanjing Bunao is to reverse the flow, allowing this dense essence to transform into the lighter, circulating force of key vital energy and eventually elevate to Shen's spirit or consciousness. This is not an anatomical process of fluid traveling up the spine, but an allegorical description of energetic and hormonal redirection, leading to an undeniable improvement in mental fortitude. Furthermore, the practice fundamentally alters the brain's relationship with dopamine, the key neurotransmitter of motivation and reward. Standard ejaculation causes a massive but transient spike in dopamine, followed by a period of relative depletion. This high-low cycle can inadvertently train the brain to seek out immediate, low-effort rewards, a pattern that is the antithesis of the protracted high-effort focus required for genuine creative work. By consistently retaining, the practitioner achieves a state where the baseline level of dopamine is higher and more stable, leading to sustained endogenous motivation rather than relying on external, fleeting stimuli. This sustained state is crucial for achieving flow, the psychological term for being completely absorbed and focused on an activity, which is the very engine of genius. Retention cultivates a meditative self-control over primal urges, which is essentially the training of the ventromedial prefrontal cortex to override limbic system responses. This constant exercise of superior control dramatically increases overall willpower, making the deliberate choice to pursue a difficult creative task over an easy distraction a natural default rather than a constant internal battle. The psychological impact of self-mastery reinforces the neurochemical shifts. When you consciously choose to defer one of your body's strongest biological imperatives, the resulting feeling of self-efficacy is monumental. This is not mere vanity. It is a fundamental rewiring of self-perception. The resulting confidence is rooted in proven daily discipline, leading to a palpable shift in demeanor that others perceive as magnetism or personal power. This powerful, sustained energy, the very essence of Shen, is now available for investment into large-scale creative projects. Whether it is composing a symphony, engineering a complex solution, or writing a masterpiece. The creative blocks dissolve because the energy that once drove an impulsive, short-term release is now sublimated into a long-term visionary output, backed by a neurochemically stabilized and highly motivated mind. The Jing has been successfully transmuted into Shen, and the natural state of creative genius is unleashed. This journey of self-mastery is continuous, and while the benefits are immense, the path requires guidance and community. Please remember that you are not alone in this work. If you haven't already, ensure you have joined our thriving community in the Telegram channel, the link for which is in the description. There, you can access detailed protocols and connect with others who are actively experiencing the transmutation of Jing to Shen. Finally, to help us continue producing this unique, research-backed content and sharing the wisdom of semen retention and energy transmutation with the world, please consider contributing using the thanks button below. Every single contribution, no matter how small, is deeply appreciated and critically important to sustaining this platform and our mission to unlock the genius in every man.